up here at Washington at the 2A regional track meet, getting ready for the finals. Jarrett Jones jumped in the prelims, and I don't think he made the finals. Kyle Lomberger will be jumping here in the finals with a qualifying time of 20.8 feet. In the prelims, Kyle has gone 21.10.5. So a little bit below his best. And we'll be looking forward to his first jumps here, we're thinking, in a few minutes. Big crowd here today. And it's a beautiful day. Pennington's here, Solomon's here. Okay, here we go. Kyle Lomberger getting ready for his first attempt here in the finals, long jump. Kyle's first attempt. Finals, he qualified with a jump of 20 feet 8 inches. We'll see if he can't get back up to what he hit down at Southeast last time we were down there and get that 21.10 mark here again. It's that scratch, but man, that was a long one. Nice jump there, but scratched on his first attempt. We'll be back with his second jump here in just a minute. Kyle's the last jumper here in the round number 2 in the finals. Not too many good jumps as of yet. Got a kid there with over 19 feet and a couple at the 18-foot mark. Kyle needs to get a good one in the bank here so he can relax and let it rip on the third one. And he hits the board, scratched. Jump was out there a ways too. Okay, Kyle Lomberger getting ready for his third jump here. This is the finals in the long jump regional track meet up in Washington. Beautiful day up here. Slight breeze. At Kyle's back, scratched the first 2 attempts. We'll see if he can't get him off the board here on his third jump. He's got a 20.8 jump in the prelims. I'm sure he'll end up. That was out there a ways. They're going to count that from our.
What was it? 21 even.
Bill Davis is giving us the 21 foot and change. 21.5.
Thank you.
Good jump. Third attempt. Kyle cracks off a 21.5, which will be tough to beat here, as that's it, isn't it, Charles? I don't think they get 4 attempts, do they?
No, that's it.
On the third and final try, Kyle Lomberger scratched both first times on his first 2 attempts. Jumps 21.5 to win the long jump here and the regional. Congratulations, Kyle. He'll move on to state next weekend in Wichita. We've got a female participant here in the women's discus, Melanie Catron from Minneapolis. state qualifier last year. I'll try and find where she lands and give you some of the qualifiers. On the girls' side, Shelby Hamilton qualifies about third best in 2A in the 2 mile with a time of 12:51. Melanie Catron getting ready for her first throw, as we know it anyway, in the finals of the girls discus. Melanie Catron, Minneapolis. Nice form, lets it go. Oh, that's a nice throw. Catron's throw way out there. And the mark is good. It's a good throw. Very nice throw. .96.4 is the measure as Catron gets one out there. Pretty good shape in the finals of the girls discus. Her first throw, .96.4. We'll be back with her next 2 throws. We'll try and catch some other throws and do some comparing here. Melanie Catron getting ready for her second throw here. There are a couple throwers out there at 107 and 109 feet, so she needs to get out there beyond 105 feet here to stay up with the front of the pack here. Melanie Catron with her second throw. That's a good throw. Now it's better, much better, I think, than her last throw. Still shy of the 100-foot mark, I think.
Mrs. Close, your booklet is at the finish line waiting for you.
I didn't catch the, I think if that one marks the 100-foot mark, she still has 3 foot to go. So Catron's second throw is about the same as her first throw, 97 foot. We'll be back with her third throw here in just a minute.
Your heat assignments in heat 1, lane assignments in heat 1. Jacob Wareham of Jackson Heights in lane 2. In lane 3, Braden Bloomfield of Clifton Clyde. Lane 4, Michael Lambert of Clifton Clyde. Lane 5, Charles Shea of Minneapolis. Lane 6, Brian Ahmed of Bennington. Lane 7, Dylan Gold of Jackson Heights.
Charles Shea getting ready for the preliminary 100 meters. Shea qualifying here will have his work cut out for him here in the first heat against Bennington's Amick and the Clifton Clyde runner. First heat of the prelims, 100 meters, Class 2A regional up here at Washington County. And I'm here to tell you this facility is by far one of the best I've been at in a long time, and that includes some of the college tracks I've been on. They have thought of everything here. This track is immaculate. The facility is perfect. The layout is by far the best I've seen, with everything taken into consideration. Pits were excellent, concrete lined. So I'm going to quit bragging up Washington County. We'll get ready here for the first heat. Charles Shea. Lane 5, Minneapolis. Bennington's on the right. That's Amick. Shea. Clifton Clyde out pretty quick. Amick is second. Shea is running, looked like 4th or 5th here in the first heat. Charles Shea will find out where he finished for sure.
100-meter prelims. In lane 2, Dakota Tormenson. Lane 4, Kyle Longberger, Minneapolis.
Kyle will be in this heat, lane 2, or heat number 2.
Lane 6, Gary Daniels.
He'll be in lane 4.
7, Jesse Barr of Wathena.
As we looked at the times, Kyle should coast. according to the times, but nothing's for sure, and he still has to beat the other 6 down the track. Saw him warming up on the curve. He looks fast.
There are 3 heats in the boys' 100-meter prelims.
And I think we get Jake Eckert in the 3rd heat, but I'm not real certain. So Minneapolis fielding 3 runners here in the 100. Lomberger in lane 4 here, with one of the faster times in the Class 2A state this year. And as we mentioned in this heat, he should be able to coast right along. Started out a little slow. He's a little gimpy, but he's making up ground there as Kyle Lomberger wins in pretty good shape. Not a good start. He was a half step behind the field, and in 4 steps had the lead and coasted at the end with an 11:20 unofficial
in the third
time.
Heat, in lane 2, Ryan Fisher, Washington County. Lane 3, Clinton Todd of Gellinger of Bennington. Lane 5, Lawson Montgomery of Bennington. Lane 6, Jake Frager of Washington
He looked a little gimpy, but he's going to have to keep that warmed up. He might have stretched the groin just a little bit. Then 11:21 is a good time here. Kyle Lomberger wins his heat. We'll check the times in the 3rd heat. Lawson Montgomery and one other Bennington runner is in this heat.
Chelsea Deegan from Wabunsie, Jordan Kennedy from Frankfurt, Heather Miniman from Solomon, Savannah Gowden from Harrington, Elle Williams from Bennington, and Bridget Baker from Washington County. Please report to the finals in
You want me to hold it there, Dirk?
No, you're all right.
Now the sun's at her back. Chuck's having a little tough time picking up the runners on the LED screen. We have 2 runners here in the 1st heat of the girls' 200 meters. We have Jarrah Shoemaker, lane 1, and Mackenzie Mortimer out in about lane 5 or 6. So both Minneapolis 200 qualifiers, girls, are in this 1st heat, Shoemaker and Mortimer. And the starter is backing them in the blocks now, so we're just a few seconds away from the start of this 1st heat. Jarrah Shoemaker, and excuse me, she's going to be in lane 2 or 3. It doesn't look like they are filling lane 1, so I think she's in lane 2. Shoemaker's been running rather well last couple of meets we've been at. Pretty strong 200 runner here. Guns up. Good start. Mortimer and Shoemaker both out real well for Minneapolis. Mortimer running well out in lane 5. Mackenzie Mortimer. Shoemaker's got some ground to make up, and she does. Jarrah Shoemaker trying to hang in there for 3rd. Mortimer will be 2nd here in the 1st heat. There is a girl that passes Jarrah. Jarrah ends up 4th here in the 1st heat. The winning time 26.6. Mortimer 2nd and Shoemaker 4th here in the preliminary 200 meters. We'll find out how and who moves on to the finals. I think Mortimer will for sure, and Jarrah's time, if hers is good enough, will move on also. We'll be back with the boys 200 meters prelims here in just a minute.
2nd, Kelly Kiefer from Clifton Clyde, and 1st place with a throw of 39 feet 1/2 inch, Misty Lowe from St. Mary.
1st heat of the boys 200 meter prelims. We will have Kyle Lomberger out in lane 3 or 4, I believe, for the 1st heat.
Allie Bloomfield from Clifton Clyde. 3rd, Amanda Beckemeyer from Washington County. 2nd, Hillary Johnson from Washington.
Blevins from Donovan West.
Row of 127 feet.
Dylan Gold from Jackson Heights. Clinton Todd from Onega. Kyle Lomberger will be lane 4.
In the boys 200 field, Brian Allman
Levi
finished 4th
Jenkins,
in 2A in 2007.
Valley Heights, and
Jackson,
Matt Bakes from St. Mary's will be in this heat.
Michael Lambert of Clifton Clyde is the Twin Valley League champion, and Kyle Longberger of Minneapolis is the best time in the field at 22.6.
Kyle with the best time in this
Your
field.
latest
Amick
in the first heat. Lane 1, Tyler McKellips
not in this heat.
Of Bennington. Lane 2, Cody Miller of Wathena. Lane 3, Christian Jackson of Clifton Clyde. Lane 4, Kyle Longberger of Minneapolis. Lane 5, Brian Gellinger of Bennington. Lane 6, Jake Prager of Washington County. Lane 7, Charles Shea of Minneapolis.
Charles Shea is in this also. He's Dad says Kyle's going to have to run. Charles Shea out in lane 7, so we have 2 Minneapolis runners in this. I'll give Kyle a little bit of something to gauge with Charles out on the outside. Starter's got the gun up. He has them set. He pulls the trigger. He doesn't leave them sitting there very long. Kyle out nicely, just staying with the Bennington runner in front of him. Running an easy second. Lomberger now steps on it a little bit, catches the Bennington runner, and Kyle will coast to finish 1-2 with the Bennington runner.
In the second prelim in the boys 200, in lane
Charles
1,
ended up about 4th or 5th.
Jonathan West. Lane 2, Matt Eakes of St. Mary's. Lane 3, Levi Jenkins of Valley Heights. Lane 4, Brian Almec.
Winning time there, 22.5.
Michael Lambert of Clifton
7,
Clyde.
so we'll have to wait and see how the
Lane 7,
timing in this
Dylan
next
Gold of
heat
Jackson
comes out.
Heights.
Amick Bennington in this second heat. There will be 3 heats in this 200. See, they had Charles Shea in the second heat.
They must have cut it
Yeah,
down.
well, with 2 heats of prelims, we'll take the top 2 in each heat and the next 4 best times for the finals.
So he may. If this is the faster heat, we could get Charles Shea in the finals also. Nice job, Minneapolis runners there. Went, I think, 1st or 2nd there and 4th.
The lane assignments in the boys 100-meter.
Boys 100-meter finals.
Lane 1 from Onega, Clinton Todd. Lane 2 also
Lawson
from Onega,
Montgomery
Jerry Daniels.
just got done running
Michael
the
Lambert
110
from
high
Clifton
hurdles
Clyde in
and blew
lane
away
3.
the field by
Lane
20
4 is
meters.
Lawson Montgomery from Bennington.
lane
Lane
4.
5 from Minneapolis.
Kyle Lomberger will be
Lomberger.
in lane 5.
Lane 6, Brian Gellinger from Bennington. Also from Bennington in lane 7 is Brian Almec. And in lane 8 from Solomon, Tyler Stark.
Bennington with 3 runners qualifying here, and it could go 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the county. Pretty easy. We do have the Clifton Clyde runner in lane 3 that's pretty salty, so Kyle he'll have his work cut out for him here. Competition is pretty stiff. Montgomery all loosened up after just blowing away the field there in the 110 high hurdles. 100-meter finals, Class 2A regional up here at Washington County. Washington County leading in point totals on the girls' side. I don't know how they're doing on the boys. And the boys. Bennington should close the gap quite a bit with quite a few qualifiers, and Montgomery winning the 110 hurdles. So it's Onega, Clifton Clyde, Bennington, Minneapolis, Bennington, and Solomon. Guns up. Starter has them in the blocks. They're set. Good start. Kyle in the middle of the field has got third place wrapped up for sure. Bennington moving up on him quickly. Amick on the outside. Kyle Lomberger third, I believe. Montgomery won it, I think, with a 10.97.
Manning, Mr. Bond would like you to start hauling hurdles around the track, please.
We'll have to wait for the official
1500-meter run.
score, but as I had mentioned earlier, it could have easily gone all four for Ottawa County.
4 by 100-meter relay. First call, girls and boys.
To Bennington and Minneapolis for sure. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll have to wait for the official
In the girls'
finish.
1600-meter run, Killian Stratman from Bennington has the
We're
top
getting ready
time
for
at
the girls'
5:34.2.
mile run,
Also in the field
1600
is the
meters.
Valley League champion,
Shelby
Harlan
Hamilton
Campbell
will
from
run for
Clifton Clyde.
Minneapolis. Stratman from
Best
Bennington
2A
with
mark
the
in
best
1600
time so far.
This year is Aubrey Fredericking from Plainville, who has run a 5:20.7. Others in the field today are Shelby Hamilton of Minneapolis, Kinsey George of Clifton Clyde, Kayla Harris of Jackson Heights, Alex Leach from Jackson Heights.
Be right in the top 4 at the end of this race. 1600 meters, and they're
St. Mary's,
not
Sarah
getting them
Hargrave from Valley
lined up
Heights,
just yet. They're
Stephanie
still
Solomon
finishing
from Wabaunsee,
the final finish of the boys 100 meters, and we'd kind of like to know how that turned out ourselves. So we'll be back with the start of the 1600 meters here in just a minute. He's giving them instructions here, but the girls are out and on the track getting ready for the 1600 meters. Shelby Hamilton for Minneapolis, lane 2. Looks like we have about 15, 16 runners. 14 runners. Stratman in lane 1 from Bennington, one of the faster times. And this regional, Shelby Hamilton in the outside of lane 2. They're off. And Shelby moves ahead of her person. Stratman on the inside. Bennington will take the lead. And Shelby doing a good job not getting boxed in at the start of this. She will end up in second as they cascade in after the pylons. 4 easy laps, 1 mile. Stratman out in the lead. And Clifton Clyde moves up into second, and I think it's Onega tries the outside because Shelby's got the inside position, so doesn't like that pace. Shelby jumps right back out to the outside and goes right around both runners that just passed her. Second place, Stratman out in front from Bennington. That's St. Mary's and right on Shelby's hip. Clifton Clyde's in 4th and 5th. 1 lap down, 1:15 split first lap. St. Mary's in second place and Shelby's in 3rd. 4 will qualify for state, and we'll see if we can get Shelby qualified in both the mile and the 2 mile here today. A little bit of a breeze out of the west, northwest. This field sets in here at an angle. It's kind of funny, but this field sets southeast to northwest. A little bit of an angle. Beautiful track, set up just like Emporia State with the high jump pit on the south end. It's all rubberized. Stratman, Bennington out in the lead. St. Mary's in second, and Shelby running loosely in 4th now as Clifton Clyde moved up ahead of Hamilton. Another Clifton Clyde runner moves out and passes her teammate. Bennington still in the lead. Shelby needs to go with this pack right here. Now running in 5th. She knows she needs at least one place to qualify for state. It looks like she's having to check up behind the Clifton Clyde runner. Not quite the pace Shelby is wanting. St. Mary's dropped back to 3rd. Clifton Clyde up in 2nd. Minneapolis fielding a pretty decent distance runner here. Our girls' best chance in the distance for qualifying for state. Shelby Hamilton, Minneapolis, still cruising along in 5th place. Will need to move up at least one, and now's a good time. The Clifton Clyde girl does look like she is about had it. She needs to move now because she's going to lose a spot up ahead, the St. Mary's girl.
First call, girls and boys, 400-meter dash.
Stratman still in the lead, just has a 15-meter lead over Clifton Clyde. Shelby still in 5th, now moving up a little bit. The St. Mary's girl is fading. She definitely needs to move past St. Mary's and does for 4th place. Stratman, Clifton Clyde, then St. Mary's.
Second, Tia Roberts, and 1st place with a time of 16.25 seconds, Bridget Baker from Washington County.
It's the Bridget Baker that's winning the girls. Here's the finals in the hurdles. Stratman still with a comfortable lead. Shelby Hamilton running 3rd. Clifton Clyde in front of her and in back of her with 1.5 laps to go. Excuse me.
And 2nd, Brantley Wareham from.
This is a final lap.
The time of 13.92 seconds. Montgomery from Bennington.
I was just curious if that was a record for Lawson Montgomery in the hurdles. Under 14 seconds. 13.95. Comes the final. Stratman, Bennington, Clifton Clyde, Shelby Hamilton running 3rd and moving up. The other Clifton Clyde runner is bringing it. They won't catch Shelby. Shelby will finish in 3rd. Stratman with a 5:43.45. Shelby's going to be about a 5:50. And 3rd place. Congratulations to Shelby Hamilton. She will qualify for the state track meet next weekend in the mile, 1,600 meters. She will get also the 2 mile today, so she's going to have a little recovery time. And we'll be back with the boys 1,600. I think we get our man Hackett.
The top mark in 2A has been run by Humphreys of Sterling at a 4:24. Others in our field are Mark Moss of Washington County, Lucas Straub of Jackson Heights, Jason Martin from Harrington, from Clifton Clyde.
There we go, Minneapolis with a runner here in the 1,600 meters, Dylan Hackett, with the 5th best time in this group.
Josh Hicks from Bennington, Jake Herdig from Obuncie, from Onega, Seth Brandon, Matt Cook from Frankfurt, Tyler Clements from Catton-Galva, and Nathan Ramsey from Valley Heights.
Our man Hackett's going to have to move up just a little bit to qualify for state. He's going to have to stay with that front pack. Needs a 4th place finish here. Hackett with one of the best, or the 5th best time in this group. Needs a strong finish here today in Washington County. There they go. Hackett out there in about lane 6. We'll try to position himself as they move over, and does. Nice job by Dylan Hackett. Moves right into fourth or fifth. Finds a slot there and falls right in. Onega out in front. Clifton Clyde second. And there's a little faster runner moving up. So Hackett's about sixth right now. A good spot for him to be in, as the pace of this is a little bit quick right now. Boys 1,600 meters. There Hackett is in good shape, moving up on the outside, likes a little faster pace himself. Knows he needs a fourth place finish to get in, and that's right where he's going to be. Onega out in the lead, Clifton Clyde second on the inside. Hackett right in there at fourth. Good job, Dylan Hackett. Good position, one lap down. Not a real fast split. Now there's a runner moving up on the outside. Hackett still on the inside position. Has not given up. Had to check up there a little bit as the runner cut in front of him.
Final call, girls and boys 4x100 meter relay. Second call.
4x1s are next.
200 meter dash. Second call, girls and boys 400 meter dash.
Hackett moved back a little bit as a couple of the runners moved up.
First call, girls and boys.
Still inside position in fifth place. Two laps down. 220, 222. Hackett still looking good. The leaders are just not that far in front of him. It's just not stretched out too much. Hackett within striking distance of two runners for third. Now the front pack is stretching it out a little bit. Hackett's going with him. Nice job. Hackett's in good shape, and as Chuck just mentioned, he's going to have to pick up somebody with a lap and the third to go. They come by this time, one lap to go, bell lap, and Hackett's positioned real well, but you never know what's going to come up from behind, and that's exactly what's happening. St. Mary's runner is moving up. He knows he has to pick up three runners. Now Hackett has moved into fourth. Clifton Clyde moved back. Now Hackett in fourth for Minneapolis. Onega runner in, oh, that's Harrington runner in second. Clifton Clyde right on Dylan's heels. Hackett in fourth. Is going to have to watch it. They're starting to stretch out in front of him now. Here comes Clifton Clyde. Hackett moving out. Staying right with the front pack. Dylan Hackett with probably his best time of the year here. Can he hold on? He needs fourth to qualify for state, and we need him to qualify. Dylan Hackett hanging on to fourth. Clifton Clyde right on his heels. Let's see who's got the kick. Dylan Hackett. Dylan Hackett, our man Hackett. They will not catch him. What a gutty run by Dylan Hackett. 4:45, 4:50. Dylan Hackett with a fourth place finish and a qualifying time for state. Dylan Hackett, congratulations. Nice job. On a gutty run, he had guys all over him the last two laps, and he held them off for fourth place. And he gets a nice big hug by Keegan McCulloch. So we're pretty excited to get Dylan Hackett qualified for state. Helps our chances when we get down to the big event next weekend. We'll be back with 4x1s.
Frankfort, Washington County, Wabaunsee, Jackson Heights, and Doniphan West.
All right, Minneapolis girls getting ready for the 4x1. They have the 4th best time in this regional. Minneapolis to start out in lane 2, I believe. Lane 1. Jara Shoemaker to start out. She'll hand off to, I think, Connor Fulton. And then Shay Shoemaker, and then Mackenzie Mortimer. Minneapolis, Bennington, Frankfort, Clifton Clyde was in the earlier heat. Looks like Harrington on the outside. Wabaunsee is the other blue and red. They're the Wildcats. Bennington track team on the rise, and Minneapolis trying to maintain the superior finish that we've had in the last 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 years at state. We've won the state 3 years in a row. And the boys, the girls are off a little bit this year. And they're taking a little time here getting this set up. Minneapolis lane 1, Bennington lane 2. Jara Shoemaker leading off for the Fighting Lions. And I think, I always thought it was Connor Fulton anyway. Second runner over there on the curve will take the baton from Jara Shoemaker. And then it'll be the lanky one, Shay Shoemaker, will run the curve and hand off to Mackenzie Mortimer. Two sets here, so you're running against the time. Not only do they need to come in first or second, but have a better time than the first section. It's a good spot for Minneapolis. Jara on the inside has the field in front of her. They're set, they're off, good start. Shoemaker on the inside, Bennington lacking behind just a little bit. Now Jara's made up some of the stagger on Bennington. We'll hand off to Connor Fulton. Fulton down the backstretch. We've got a ways to go. As the rest of the field is out in front of us quite a ways. Shay Shoemaker now with the baton on the inside. We'll hand off to Mackenzie Mortimer, and we're in dead last. Mortimer with a fine finish, and she might catch one or two, but Minneapolis will not qualify the 4x1. Tough luck there.
What a race to the finish.
It's a good race.
In the boys 4x100 meter relay.
4x1 boys will be up next, and
Minneapolis was first. Bennington was 7th.
I don't know that we have a 4x1. We'll be back.
The top mark in this
300 hurdles here shortly.
The heart of Valley Heights and Jackson Heights.
Heights, Valley Heights, Minneapolis, Bennington, Onega, and Clifton Clyde.
In the girls' 1600-meter run.
In the second session,
Kayla Harris from Jackson Heights.
I got to run them in two because of the number of teams. They ran 3 in the first session, and now Minneapolis will start here.
Third, Shelby
Lane 1.
From Minneapolis.
Shelby Hamilton with a third place finish in the girls 1600.
And first place to the time of 5 minutes, 43.32 seconds, Jillian Strassman from Bennington.
Charles Shea will lead it off for Minneapolis.
1600-meter run.
Jarrett Jones, second runner.
Place, Mark Mock from Washington County. Fifth, Chris Sykes from Clifton Clyde. Fourth, Dylan Hackett from Minneapolis.
Our man Hackett,
Lucas
fourth,
from Jackson
qualifies for state.
Second, Corey Keene from Jackson Heights. And first place to the time of 4 minutes, 45.31 seconds, Jason Martin from Harrington.
Gerard will be the third runner.
Final call, girls and boys 400-meter dash. Final call, girls and boys 400-meter dash. Second call, girls and boys 300-meter hurdles. Second call, girls and boys 300-meter hurdles.
Here we go, Minneapolis, lane 1, Bennington lane 3, Harrington, I believe, is in lane 2, Clifton Clyde lane 4. They're set, they're gone. Shea with the good start from Minneapolis. That's a nice curve. We'll hand off to Jarrett Jones. And that's a good handoff. Jarrett Jones down the backstretch, lane 1. We'll hand off to Gerard. He's had to look back for the baton. That's not good. Trevor Gerard will hand off to Jake Eckert. And just like the girls, dead last. Clifton Clyde moving up on Bennington. Bennington, Amick will catch him at the tape, and Jake Eckert makes up some distance at the end, but not enough. Minneapolis will not qualify a 4x1 relay team, boys or girls, for the first time in probably 8 years. We'll be back with 300 hurdles here in just a minute.
Bunsey in lane 4 for Minneapolis, Mackenzie Mortimer in lane 5.
Mortimer and Shoemaker with two of the best times in this regional.
6 for Minneapolis.
Mortimer will start in 4.
Shoemaker
Jara
in lane 7.
out in lane 6.
Brendan Randall from
So
Frankfurt.
Minneapolis with 2 runners here in this heat.
Mary's, Heather Perry.
400. Second heat here. Blocks or no blocks is the burning question. The girls are going to use the blocks, move out and stagger start, stay in their lane all the way around. Jared Shoemaker lane 6, Mortimer lane 4. Now the staggers are set. I like Mortimer's chances there in lane 4. Shoemaker runs pretty good on the outer lane, so
Fourth, Bennington.
we'll have to wait and see how they come out.
Second, Washington County. And first place with a time of 51.98 seconds, Frankfurt.
While they're setting up, point totals, Minneapolis girls not faring so well. Boys are up about 6th, 5th or 6th. Devin Knox with a 4th place finish in the boys shot put. And we didn't get the finals on the girls disc, but we don't think Melanie Catron qualified. So Devin Knox with a qualifying throw in the boys shot. 4th place finish. Starter has the gun up. They're setting the blocks. He doesn't keep him set very long, and he turns loose the gun. Mortimer made up the stagger already. Mackenzie Mortimer running very well out in lane 4. Shoemaker running easy in 6. Mortimer has made up the stagger on the field. Jared decides it's time to go. There goes Mackenzie. Jared and Mackenzie Mortimer. Shoemaker in lane 6, Mortimer lane 4. We'll see how they come out of the curve. Jarrah running easy out in lane 6. Here comes the field. Mortimer with a good lead. They're coming now. Mackenzie Mortimer, Minneapolis. Shoemaker hit the wall. Mackenzie Mortimer, can she hold on? Clifton Clyde. And it will be Mackenzie Mortimer with the win. Jarrah Shoemaker 5th for Minneapolis. A 101.61 for Mackenzie Mortimer. Wow, that's a pretty good time. 101.61. I think that's her fastest time. Definitely her fastest time of the year right there, Mackenzie Mortimer. Congratulations on a win here at the regional in the 200 meters. Mortimer's fastest time so far was a 102.50. So she just lowered her personal best by 1 second.
Of 50.2 seconds. Cody Miller
boys are next.
Was 4th in this event in 2006.
Jake Eckert will run it.
Brian Almack of Bennington is the heart of the
here in the first section for Minneapolis.
There will be 2 timed sections in this race. In the first
and
section,
Jake Eckert will be in this first section.
Jonathan Collins. In lane 3 for Valley Heights, Gunnar Sidek. In lane 4 for Minneapolis, Jake Eckert. In lane 5 from Jackson Heights, Steve Olson. In lane 6 from Harrington,
that's
Jordan Polston.
Jackson Heights in those Army tan uniforms with the green stripe. Those are some kind of ugly pajamas, aren't they?
They sure are, Mike.
Lime green shoes and a khaki top and bottom with green letters. Whew. They need a little camo on them and they would look a little better. Harrington out, lane 6.
Hurdle Hustlers, Mr.
Jackson Heights, I believe, and 5, Eckert 4. First heat of the Open 400. Lineberger sporting a little bit of a growing pull. He obtained in the long jump, went ahead and did the prelims in the 100, finished the 100, did the prelims in the 200. Jake Eckert out quickly in lane 4. Has a lead now, I believe. Jackson Heights out there along with Harrington. Eckert going with them. Jake Eckert looking good here in the first heat. Now on the inside, Wabunzi, I believe. Runner Eckert in the middle of the track. In third place in this first heat. Jake Eckert Minneapolis in third. Jackson Heights out in the lead. And that's the way they'll finish. Jackson Heights first, Minneapolis third, with a 53:18 winning time.
The second section of the boys 400-meter dash finals. In lane 1 from Wabaunsee, Curtis Capon. Lane 2 from Bennington, Brian Amick. Lane 3 from
Amick's in
Waukeena,
lane 2.
Matt Koliker. Lane 4 from Minneapolis,
Lomberger,
Kyle
lane
Lomberger.
4.
Lane 5 from Waukeena, Cody Miller. And lane 6 from Bennington, Brian Jellinger. Lane 7 from Omega, Daniel Todd. And in lane 8, Kyle Mogi from Wabaunsee.
It might take 100 meters to get it loosened up, but I think once he does, he'll run just fine. Kyle with a little bit of a growing pull here.
Second call, girls and boys 800-meter run.
Amick,
Second
lane
call,
2 from
girls
Bennington
and
will
boys
be
800-meter run.
pretty tough.
First call, girls and boys 200-meter dash finals. First call, girls and boys 200-meter dash finals.
They will be putting the hurdles out here shortly
Final
for
results in the boys 4x100
300 hurdles.
meter relay. In 6th place, Alma Wabaunsee. 5th, Jackson Heights. 4th, Onega. 3rd,
Congratulations
Valley
to Mackenzie Mortimer. That was quite a finish.
And first place
And the
with
girls
time of
open 400
44.13 seconds.
with a 1:01. It's a good time, Mackenzie. Now the boys 400. Let's see if we can make it a clean sweep. Now would be a good time to reel in that 50 flat. 49.9 even better. 49.98. So we had him clocked at the last track meet, and they've kind of switched it on us a little bit. Kyle Lomberger out in lane 4. Amick, lane 2. Bennington. Well, this track meet's moving right along. It's 7:30. We've still got quite a few events to go, but 300 hurdles, open 800, 200 meters, and the 3200, and the 4x4. Starter has them set. The gun is up. Now they're set. Good start. Kyle running very smoothly out there in lane 4. Has made up the stagger on the field. Wow. I think he's feeling just fine, Dad. Kyle Lomberger has got the lead on the field here. Groin might be a little bit sore, but Kyle Lomberger here with he's going to be looking at the Waukeena kid. Here comes Amick from Bennington. They will not catch Kyle Lomberger, or Amick is in 4th, I think. Kyle Lomberger, 49.89. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah.
Hurdle hustlers, please begin setting the hurdle.
Now that's an official time right there, 49.89. That would be a personal best, I would have to say. And Dad says I'm right. That's the official time right there, 49.89. We were looking for a 50 flat. Wow.
Bruce Terrell from Alma Wabaunsee and Martin Randall from Frankfurt. In 5th, Katie Repke from Valley High.
Kyle Lomberger just blew away the field with a 49.89 in the open 400, and it is a clean sweep. Mortimer and the girls and Lomberger and the boys. Nice run. Congratulations, Kyle Lomberger. That'll do well down at state, Dad. That'll be good. We're getting ready for 300 hurdles. We'll have Shay Shoemaker for the girls, and I don't know that we'll have boys, but Shay with the best girls' time here at this regional, so we'll be back with that when they get them set up.
Lane 7 from Bennington, Kim Garrett.
Here we go, getting ready for the girls 300 meters. Low hurdles. Shay Shoemaker with the best time in this regional out there in lane 4 in the red shoes. This is the third session. That's what they call it. I call it third heat of the, they didn't have prelims here, so it's just the best times. Supposedly this heat right here would feature the 6 best times, maybe 7. Shoemaker right in the middle of the track. They're running 8 all full. Out quickly, Shoemaker to the first hurdle. Soonest, nice job. That is why she's got the best time. Out very quickly. It's made up the stagger. They've got girls on the inside moving up on her though, so this could be interesting.
And boys, finals of the 200-meter dash. Final call, girls and boys 200-meter dash final.
Shay, right in the middle of the track, has company. 4 crossed. Come on, Shay. She needs to move up 1. She needs to catch somebody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shoemaker, 5th place. And Bennington outleaned her at the tape. Shoemaker with a 5th place finish will not qualify for state in the 300-meter hurdles.
400-meter dash.
Boys are next.
6th place, Steve Olson from Holliker from Wasena. 4th, Brian Amick from Bennington. 3rd, Cody Miller from Wasena. 2nd, Brian Belcher from Bennington. And 1st place with a time of 49.87 seconds, Kyle Lonberger from Minneapolis.
49.87. We do have a runner here. We have Kyler Macy, Minneapolis, out there in lane 7 all by himself. In the first heat, running against, no, Lawson Montgomery is not in this heat. And Kyler Macy with a nice finish in the 300 hurdles. First heat, all time, so we'll have to wait and see how he comes out.
Second section of the boys 300-meter hurdles. Sections in the boys 800. In section 1, we have Benton Kuhn of Valley Heights, Judy Tanay of Clifton Clyde, Dan Cook of Frankfurt,
Yes,
Will Hoyt
I
of
don't
Valley
believe
Falls, Cody Trimble of Valley Heights, Caleb Wilson of Washington County, Jared Wilson of Jackson Heights.
She want to know how the 4x8s did. McCulloch, middle of the track out there, lane 6, with one of the top times in this group, 800. It's going to be tight. There are about 4 times right with his, that 205, 206. I don't think anybody can kick with him at the end if he's got anything up close to the front, and he falls right in a very good position at the back of the front pack. That kid in 6 runs like our man Hackett, doesn't he? Had me fooled for a minute. Keegan needs to move out with the front pack. There's the 1, 2, 3, and 4. McCulloch's got that kick, but can't lose track of that front pack. time is the same as here he comes right now. McCulloch moving up. Has 4th place. Has 3rd place. These guys have never seen a McCulloch 300-meter kick, and they're going to see one here today. I guarantee him he's going to let it turn it loose. There he goes. He likes getting out in that outer lane at 300 meters and says, "Come and catch me, boys," and away he goes. McCulloch, Minneapolis, out in front with a 300 kick here. Another section to go after him, but Keegan McCulloch, I thought they had 2 sessions. Well, I'm glad they did combine them. I wouldn't know why they would run 2 sessions of 800. Now McCulloch being pressured by Onega. They will not catch Keegan McCulloch today. Onega second. Keegan McCulloch 201, 202, 203, 204 flat. PR for Keegan McCulloch, a 204.3. It's a good time to run a personal best when everyone else is running 206s. McCulloch with a 204. And a 1st place finish in the Open 800. Nice job, Keegan McCulloch. That'll get him a long ways down at state. Peaking at the right time, that's for sure.
We have 2 returning state
A heck of a
Kinsey George of Clifton Clyde and Kayla Harris of Jackson
800. McCulloch with that 300 kick pulled away from the field halfway down the backstretch, and they could not catch him on the home stretch. McCulloch with an unofficial 204.3.
Shelby Hamilton of Minneapolis.
And that's the way the 800 will end. We'll be back with the 2 mile. As they line it up, we'll have Shelby Hamilton, Minneapolis will be in the 2 mile here. And we'll be back after they get that set up.
Lane 4, Caitlin Sherlock of Washington County. Lane 5.
Minneapolis starting to compile some points here. Mackenzie Mortimer from Minneapolis out in lane 3 here, girls 200 meters. This is the finals.
Of Minneapolis.
Jared Shoemaker out in lane 7 or 8 for Minneapolis. So we have 2 Minneapolis runners here. Mortimer lane 3, Shoemaker lane 8. 200-meter finals. Regional track meet here, Washington County. Tigers facility here in Washington, Kansas. Guns up, and the runners are set. Good start. Mortimer now starting to move on the inside. Shoemaker running well on the outside. Mortimer's going to have to catch 1 or 2. Shoemaker on the outside, Mortimer on the inside. Washington County. Kenzie Mortimer, Shoemaker, and it'll be Mackenzie Mortimer in 4th. Shoemaker about 5th or 6th. Mackenzie Mortimer will qualify for state in the 200 meters. Congratulations, Mackenzie.
In lane 1,
boys are next, 200 meters
lane 2,
finals.
Miller of Wathena. Lane 3 for Minneapolis, Kyle Longberger. Lane 4.
Longberger will be in lane 3.
Brian Gellinger.
And we were just
5,
talking about
Michael
that.
Lambert
I think
from
that's going
Clifton
to
Clyde.
work to his
6
advantage.
From Brian Almack. Lane 7 from from Clifton Clyde, Christian Jackson. And in lane 8 from Valley Heights, Levi Jenkins.
It's a full track, full field. 200-meter finals. Lomberger lane 3 has the field in front of him, so I think that's the way he likes it the best, that 400 that he just got done running.
Final call, girls
Had everyone
and boys,
that he wanted to beat on the outside.
Final call, girls and boys, 3,200.
They're getting ready for the 2 mile, and they're moving these events right along now.
a great track meet, Mike.
It is a good track meet. And facility, you couldn't ask for a better facility.
Final results in the boys 300-meter hurdles. In 6th place, Garrett Stryker from Valley Heights. 5th, Sean Keller from Washington County. 4th, Chris Mueller from Harrington. 3rd, Brantley Wareham from Jackson Heights. 2nd, Derek Knight from Solomon. And 1st place with a time of 39 seconds even, Lawson Montgomery from Bennington.
39 flat in the boys 300 hurdles, Lawson Montgomery. Here we go, 2 Bennington runners. Lonberger, Minneapolis, lane 3, 200 meters. Gun is up. And daylight is quickly fading away. And they may have to pop the lights on before we're done here tonight. Good start. Lonberger out in good shape. Has made up the stagger on Bennington. Just what he wanted. All the runners on the outside of him. Kyle Lonberger. They will not touch him today. Sore groin and all, Kyle Lonberger runs away from the field with a 22.9. Whew. Lonberger wins the Open 200, 400, and was 4th in the 100. Won the long jump. So Kyle Lonberger qualifies the 200 in fine fashion with a 22.9 200. Minneapolis starting to compile some points here in the boys as Minneapolis in the track events are scoring. And I think getting ready here for the 2 mile.
Now we have the girls' 3,200 meter run.
There we go. Shelby Hamilton.
Shelby Hamilton of Minneapolis. Courtney Hurdy
with one of the better times in this field.
Carney of Solomon.
I look for her to be in the top 3.
County. Jill Wendrott of Wabaunsee. Alex Lease of Jackson Heights. Sadie Danforth of Bennington. Kinsey George of Clifton Clyde. Kayla Harris of Jackson Heights, and Carly Van Kampen of Clifton Clyde.
Well, you had them lining up earlier, but we hadn't run the 200 yet. And
they run a quick track meet, Mike.
They run a quick one, but not that quick. Chuck had called out. Well, they haven't run the 200 yet, so glad they waited. Kyle with a timely victory there for Minneapolis with a 22.9 200. Getting ready for the 3,200. Shelby Hamilton right there stretching out in lane 3, right beside the Bennington runner. Has perhaps the, I think, second best time in this field, if not the fastest. About a 12:50, third. And as they get ready to cascade in at the cones, it looks like a Clifton Clyde girl. 2 runners are out in front of Shelby, and Chuck tells me that both of those girls have a little bit faster time. Bennington in front, now Clifton Clyde, the first 2 runners, Bennington, then Shelby Hamilton, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I would not be surprised to see those 4 end up 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'd like to see Shelby move up and contend for that second spot, though. 8 easy laps. There's the results in the 800.
5th, Alyssa Hubert from Clifton Clyde. 4th, Jessica Brown from St. Mary's. 3rd, Chelsea Deegan from Alma Wabaunsee. Second, Jillian Strassman.
Front three are moving out a little bit
At
here.
first place, the time
Shelby
of
running
28.46 seconds. Caitlin Wolf from Bennington.
easily in fourth.
Final
We have to
results
watch
for the boys.
the pack behind her. I don't think there's anyone back there that's going to be able to catch her.
Fifth, Mark Mock from Washington County.
7 laps to go and about a 125 split. Bennington's in third. Clifton Clyde, 2 runners up in front.
Second, David Heidemann from Onega. And first place with a time of 2 minutes, 4.27 seconds, Keegan McCulloch from Minneapolis.
They just announced the official time of Keegan McCulloch winning the 800. And if I can find the times here in 3200. Yes, there are 2 other girls. It looks like 2 Clifton Clyde girls. Have a little bit better time. The Bennington girl doesn't have that good of a time. Unless they've thrown in a clanker here. Clifton Clyde, first and second, have the better times here. Bennington in third. Minneapolis fourth. Here comes another. It's a Wabunzi girl, I believe.
Fourth, Mackenzie Mortimer from Minneapolis. Third, Samantha Coleman.
Mortimer fourth in the 200.
Jamie Geisert from Jackson Heights. And first place with a time of 26.69 seconds, Caitlin Sherlock from Washington County.
Washington County girls have quite a team. They're racking up the points. Here's the 200-meter finals.
Valley Heights. Seventh, Clinton Todd from Onega. Sixth, Cody Miller from Wasena. Fifth, Christian Jackson from Clifton Clyde. Fourth, Brian Amick from Bennington.
Amick fourth from Bennington.
Brian Jellinger from Bennington.
Jellinger third from Bennington.
Michael Lambert from Clifton Clyde.
And Lambert from Clifton Clyde was second.
Time of 22.90 seconds. Kyle Lomberger from Minneapolis.
22.90, the official time for the winning Kyle Lomberger in the 200 meters. And we need to get Shelby Hamilton moving up. The Bennington girl is fading fast now.
There's a tie for 14th between Onega and Wasena with 6. In 13th, Valley Falls with 7. A tie for 11th between Harrington and Solomon with 10 apiece. In 9th, Minneapolis with 25.
Minneapolis girls starting to score some points in the track events. Bennington dropped back now. Shelby Hamilton in third all by herself. Jackson Heights moving up with Shelby.
46.5.
Will
Fourth, Clifton Clyde with 56.
try
Third,
to
Bennington with 67. Second,
move up a little.
With 73.5. And first place, Washington County with 91. For the boys,
Washington
with
County
Owen
girls are
Hutchinson,
leading this
200
track meet with 91 points.
In 14th, Jonathan West with 7. 13th, Valley Falls with 8. 12th, Harrington with 20. 11th, Valley Heights with 21. 10th, Wasena with 27. 9th, Alma Wabunsi with 28. 8th, Onega with 30. In 7th place, Frankfurt with 31. In 6th place, Jackson Heights with 33. 5th, Solomon with 36. 4th, Minneapolis with 52. 3rd, Clifton Clyde with 60. 2nd, Washington County with 70. And first place, Bennington with 73.
Bennington boys leading this track meet with 73 points. Minneapolis in fourth. Now the Clifton Clyde girls take turns breaking the win for each other. Shelby is tied for third right here is the Wathena. It's Wathena. The girl is passing her coming down the home stretch. Shelby with inside position. Didn't like that too well and just goes ahead and passes her right back. Shelby moves right on out now as two Clifton Clyde runners have about 100, not quite 80, 90 meters on second or third place, Shelby Hamilton. The Wathena girl is pretty persistent. She's moving up again on Shelby.
This is a reminder for coaches. If you have a relay that qualifies for the state meet, you need to turn in your form when you pick up your medals.
Well, it's kind of a long race. We'll have our man Hackett in the boys division and Garrett Doherty, I believe, run the 2 mile. Two Clifton Clyde girls running quite a ways out in front of the pack as Shelby Hamilton and the Wathena girl come down the home stretch in third and fourth. I'm sure Shelby would like to have the third place medal here. Now those t-shirts are going for $5 a piece now. Wathena is still in fourth, right on Shelby's hip. Hamilton running easily in third place here with 3 laps to go.
For those of you thinking about making travel plans for next weekend, on Friday at 3, the boys shot put, high jump, and pole vault take place. At 6:15, the girls high jump, triple jump take place. And at 4:30 on Friday, the girls long jump takes place.
Clifton Clyde runners here, two pretty good distance runners running about 12:30 for the 2 mile.
Start at 2:10 on Friday afternoon.
Wathena girls got a little bit of a lead now on Shelby.
Will be run at 7:20 p.m.
Yeah, they run that 2 mile early in the day. Get it out of the way.
Events. At 8 o'clock, the girls shot put. At 9:45,
Shelby needs to go with this Wathena girl.
And the boys long jump. Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Saturday morning will be the boys triple jump.
2 laps to go. Shelby a very strong runner here.
Is at 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
Clifton Clyde girls are going down the back stretch, and third and fourth place are just coming out of number 2 turn, so they almost have a straightaway lead. I think Shelby will make an attempt to reel in that Wathena girl. What her time was. Pretty good runner, but she's not even on the list, so don't have a time on the Wathena girl. One with the 2 knee braces. We'll see if Shelby can reel her in for third. She was about that distance behind last week. When she reeled in and passed the lead runner for first place in the 2 mile. Making a little bit of a move here. Here comes the back of the pack, Bennington runner. Shelby making up a little bit of distance here. Comes the first Clifton Clyde runner. Passes a couple of the runners in the field, and here's the second Clifton Clyde runner. This will qualify Shelby for state. See if she has anything left here, as the Wathena girls got a little bit of a kick. But so does Shelby. And Shelby let her get just a little bit too far in front of her. I don't know that she's going to catch her. Shelby Hamilton with a 4th place finish and qualifies for state in both the mile and the 2 mile.
Jackson Heights. Clifton Clyde. Dylan Hackett of Minneapolis. Joseph Brady of Onega. Josh Hicks of Bennington. Grant Weber of Frankfort. Jeremy Proctor of Valley Heights. And Garrett Daugherty of Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, Garrett's out there too. He's got his t-shirt off today.
I mean, Hackett's at 11 minutes. He needs to take about 30 seconds off. He took 11 off of his mile.
Really? Whew. He's peaking. They're set. There we go. 2 mile, boys. Garrett Doherty and Dylan Hackett. As Chuck had just mentioned, Hackett took 11 seconds off a personal best in the mile to qualify the 1600 for state. The Harrington runner out in front, running very easy, isn't he? Runs a lot like the Bennington coach, Mr. Trout. Got a long gait. Our man Hackett back there about 4th or 5th. Does not want to get caught in that pack. No place to move. Doherty on the outside is positioned pretty good now. Hackett's broke loose. In 6th. Hackett and Doherty running right there together mid-pack.
First call.
Well, the Harrington runner stretched his lead out to about 25-30 meters. Jackson Heights has 2 or 3 runners at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in those real ugly tan with a green stripe track togs. Hackett and Doherty running together back in 5th and 6th.
the Washington County FBLA would like to remind everyone that the concession stand is open and they have plenty of food yet, so please stop on by there before the meet is over.
That Harrington runner has got a long stride, and he runs so easy. Jackson Heights in second, third, fourth, and Hackett right there behind the Clifton Clyde runner. He's kind of a tall drink of water there in fourth or fifth. There goes Dylan. He's moving up a spot. He needed to. He needs to go with that front pack right there, the tall, lanky guy, and the 3 Jackson Heights runners. Hackett running pretty good down the backstretch. Doherty going with him. Good job, Dylan. He's moved up to stay with that front pack as the Harrington runners moved out to about an 80-meter lead.
Good job, Hack.
Hackett's moved up on the hip of the tall Clifton Clyde runner and now is challenging the Jackson Heights runners. Hackett staying right with him.
Team standing.
Positioned very well here with 5 laps to go.
200 meters and the 4x400 meter relay. For the girls, in 14th place, there's a tie between Onega and Wasena with 6 points. In 13th, Valley Falls with 7. The tie for 11th between Solomon and Harrington with 10. In 10th place, Doniphan West with 12. In 9th, Minneapolis with 25. In 8th,
Minneapolis girls with 25 points in 9th place.
St. Mary's with 28.
It's about 15, 16 teams here.
31. 5th place, Alma Wabunsie with 46 and a half.
Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are right there together, and Hackett's right at the back of that pack.
Frankfurt with 73 and a half. And first place, Washington County with 91 points for the girls. For the boys,
yeah, we've got 4 laps to go, so attrition might take over up in front. I don't know that the Jackson, all 3 of the Jackson Heights boys can run that pace for another mile.
Harrington with 20. In 11th.
Anyway, Dylan, stay right there.
In 8th, Alma Wabunsie with 28.
Garrett Doherty running very well back here as a freshman, moving up and passing the Bennington runner.
In 6th, Jackson Heights with 33.
Hackett still with the mid-pack.
With 36. 4th place, Minneapolis with 52. 3rd place, Clifton Clyde with 60. 2nd, Washington County with 70. And 1st place, Bennington with 73 points for the boys.
Bennington still leading this track meet on the boys' side, Washington County on the girls' side. Minneapolis in 4th place. 3 laps to go this time around. Clifton Clyde, that tall, lanky runner right in front of Dylan Hackett. It's a good place to be. I think Dylan has got to be able to outkick one of those guys, not 2.
Final results in the girls.
So right now, the Jackson Heights guys think they've got this thing under control, and 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
5th, Samantha Good from Washington County. 4th, Shelby
Dylan Hackett running 2 of his best races of the year.
From Alma Wabunsie.
Here moving right along with the front pack here.
And first place with a time of 12 minutes, 32.6.
No, that Clifton Clyde runner is just waiting his time. Here's Garrett Doherty running smoothly. They're putting a little distance between Dylan Hackett and the Clifton Clyde runner.
Good competition. Also, I'd like to give a special thanks to everybody that helped with the meet. Made it a very successful meet, and looks like we're going to be out of here before 9 o'clock, which is amazing for a regional. Special thanks to the finish line and everybody that worked there, to the heat setter, and to the starters. Thank you.
And I'd have to say they did do a wonderful job putting this track meet on. It's moved right along, and we will be out of here before 9 o'clock with the 4x4s, the last thing to run here. But first, we've got unfinished business. Dylan Hackett, with 2 laps to go, needs to move up in front of at least one of those Jackson Heights runners up there in front. Go with him, Dylan! Dylan needs one of those Jackson Heights runners up there. Hackett running pretty smoothly. Doherty on the same lap as everyone else. 2 laps to go at about an 8:25 clip. Jackson Heights moving out a little bit. Clifton Clyde falling back a little bit. Hackett needs to move. 1 lap to go. He's got to catch somebody up there in one of those ugly tan uniforms. This Harrington runner has just kept that same pace the whole time. There is no one going to catch him. Hackett about 15 meters back behind Jackson Heights. Bell lap. Clifton Clyde runner must be at least 6'4". Reel him in, Dylan. Our man Hackett, 1 lap to go, 9:30, 400 meters, and he's about 60 meters behind the Jackson Heights runners. They're probably going to push each other, so Dylan has got to go. Garrett Doherty crosses the line with 1 lap to go at about a 9:55. There's just too much distance now. The Jackson Heights guys have.
Second call, girls and
That's
boys,
the way it's going to end. Harrington first. Jackson Heights second, third, and fourth. And Clifton Clyde fifth, Minneapolis sixth. They've gotten strung out enough. Now it's Jackson Heights runners challenging each other.
Come on, Hack.
Comes Dylan Hackett. 10:15 was the winning time. Hackett's not that far behind, and it's great, good season for Dylan Hackett. Surprised a lot of people with his distance running, along with Garrett Doherty. Here comes Garrett with a strong finish. See, he's got that gait. He gets just a little stronger. He's going to be a tough runner.
He took at least 20 seconds off his PR there.
Gee. Doherty with a good finish, and Hackett with 20 seconds. Good grief.
Girls and boys, 4x400.
Hackett with a personal best in both the mile and 2 mile. Qualified the mile and 20 seconds off his 2 mile time and didn't qualify. But wonderful finish, both Doherty and Hackett there in the 2 mile. We'll be back with 4x4 action here in just a minute.
2007 state track meet in the girls 4x400 relay. Frankfurt finished 6th. Washington.
Here we go. One of the funnest races to watch, 4x4 action, and it usually will tell who the winner of the track meet is, but here tonight, probably not. It's pretty well set with Washington girls and the Bennington boys. Minneapolis fielding a 4x4 team here. Jared Shoemaker leading off for Minneapolis in lane 2. Running down the backstretch. We'll hand off to Connor Fulton. And we're in dead last. Jara needs to bring it on, and she is. They still are running the stagger, so it's hard to tell who's where. As they hand off, then you can probably get a feel for where we're at. We're a little bit in last. Fulton. For Minneapolis as they cascade over at the pylons. Connor Fulton making up some distance there at the back. Minneapolis needs to move up 3 or 4 places to qualify here. Frankfurt challenging, and there's Bennington. Well, that's Megan Simpson, excuse me. No, that's Connor Fulton. She will hand off to Mackenzie Mortimer. I recognize those shoes. Mortimer with the baton for Minneapolis. Has a long ways to go, but it is making up distance on the field here. Shay Shoemaker, the next runner for Minneapolis. Bennington back and forth. Here comes Mortimer. And the crowd gets into it as Mortimer does a good job on the third leg here. We'll hand off to Shay Shoemaker. She needs to catch a couple. Shay Shoemaker now with a baton for Minneapolis. She'll get one at least. She passes the Washington County girl. Frankfurt in the lead here, and they'll win it. Running away here. Bennington has moved up into third. Wathena fifth. Minneapolis sixth. Shay Shoemaker, good finish there with Minneapolis. Girls 4x4 action. We'll be back with the boys 4x4 here in just a minute. Here we go, boys 4x4. They've got it down to one heat. Thought maybe they're going to have to run it in 2 heats. Minneapolis out in lane 7. McCulloch will lead it off for Minneapolis, and Chuck and I were just discussing that. I think we would change the lineup just a little bit. Jarrett Jones will run the second leg. And
Gerard.
Jake Eckert. Jake Eckert. Yeah, we need another runner. Trevor Gerard. What color of shoes? McCulloch, Jones, Eckert, and Shea, I believe, is loosening up. Charles Shea. Here we go. Bennington lane 2, Minneapolis out in lane 7 or 8. 7. Boy, they got them lined up clear around to the start of the 300, way around there. McCulloch is blasting out there, made up the stagger.
3,200-meter run.
That kid can run.
6th place, Dylan Hackett from Minneapolis.
Hackett with a 6th place finish in the 2-mile.
4th, Corey Keene
McCulloch
from Jackson Heights.
hanging
3rd,
in there.
Daniel Turner from Jackson Heights. 2nd, Lucas Straub from Jackson Heights. And 1st place.
McCulloch will hand off to Jarrett Jones. Of course, everyone's still running the stagger, so it's a little deceiving. But McCulloch has made up the stagger on this runner out here. And he's catching him back. He'll hand off to Jarrett Jones. Jones gonna have to run one of his better 400s here.
As we wrap
Keegan's
up
52 split is a nice leadoff.
Very few t-shirts left available.
Jarrett Jones
North end of the bleachers.
moves over at the pylons, and Minneapolis has the lead here in this 4x4. Jones will hand off to Charles Shea. Jarrett Jones still running well. We saw this at the state track meet last year. Here they come. He's going to have to pour it on now. Onega, Wathena, Minneapolis, Jarrett Jones hands off to Charles Shea. Minneapolis in 3rd. Charles Shea moves right out. Wow. That's the fastest I've seen him run all year right there. Charles Shea down the backstretch. Reels in Wathena, passes him on the inside. Wow.
3rd, Bennington.
No.
2nd, Jackson Heights.
Jake Eckert's going to have to run a 400 of all time here. Onega, Minneapolis, Wathena. Here comes Charles Shea. He's hammering on it. He's hammering on it. Charles Shea, the best 400 I've seen him run all year long, will hand off to Jake Eckert. Now Jake Eckert will try and run down off Onega. Minneapolis looking to qualify this 4x4 team. First time all year in this position. Minneapolis 2nd place. Here comes Jake Eckert. Here comes Wathena. He is pounding on it. Here comes Eckert. Wathena will pass Jake Eckert. He will not catch Onega though. Here comes Jackson Heights. Jake Eckert. And the Minneapolis 4x4 team will finish third and qualify for state in about a 3:35. Hello?
And that concludes our meet tonight. Washington County High School would like to thank everyone for coming. We wish you a safe trip home.
Yeah.
Coaches, your medal packets and results will be available in the press box in just a few moments. Please give us a few minutes to get our these last results taken care of.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Please also, as you clean up your campsites, please take care of your trash and put it in the designated trash cans. They are